Well, this does segue into Adolescence.
Oh, yes.
The hot show.
I told you to watch this.
You did,
It isn't even the hot... I mean, I guess in theory it is.
I feel like it's the baby reindeer.
It's the number one show
the
on
UK
Netflix.
killing it with these shows.
They're so much better at acting
Yeah.
than Americans.
They just give us what we want, I guess.
And the actors look normal.
Yeah, it's true. They look...
They're not
they're not hot. Well, the main
They are
detective is
attractive.
pretty
They
hot,
just
but everyone
look
else...
normal. There's no uncanny valley faces.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, who would the dad in here would be played by like Jake Gyllenhaal or something?
Well, exactly.
There's just like one really short detective who's like one of the 7 dwarves extra. He's just like walking around. You're like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But actually, they're trying their hardest to put hot people in the UK. This is what they can do, Brian.
So this is just that.
Their
in fact,
best.
I'm being condescending.
Yeah.
Damn, isn't it great? Just some normal, ugly faces.
Yeah, and it's like, what? No, this done won't Miss Essex, just Miss Essex and Miss Liverpool. 2024. What are you going on about, Brian? It's a most beautiful specimen. It is. So yeah, the show Adolescence.
For our listeners, it's a show about. How old is this student?
13.
A 13-year-old boy who is accused of stabbing his classmate to death.
Yeah,
And you follow...
He's been like red pilled basically online, and radicalized against like women. And stuff.
Yeah, and you see what that does to the family, and it's harrowing. It's a sign of the times. This is entertainment.
This is entertainment.
We're so numb to what's going on in the world that it's like, hey, you want to kick back and relax and see what happens to this fucking 13-year-old who murdered
Spent too much time on YouTube.
his classmate.
Yeah.
And it's all shot in one shot.
Yeah, that's the big hook.
I didn't know about this hook. Apparently it's a big thing, though.
Yeah.
I went into it blind.
To me, if it doesn't have... Yeah, the whole episode is shot... I guess every episode is shot in one long take. They're like hour episodes.
Incredible.
Very impressive.
No cuts.
No cuts.
The acting is top notch too.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that the guy Stephen Graham, who stars as the dad, and I guess he wrote it, that he was in a show that was...
Wait, he wrote Adolescence?
Yeah.
The dad?
The dad.
No way. Okay.
Yeah. When I saw that he was in this show that's all one take, I was like, oh, I wonder if this guy directed it, because he was in this other movie a few years ago that I really liked called Boiling Point, where the same guy, Stephen Graham, plays a chef. And the whole thing is, it's like a chef on the inspection day of his restaurant, and also he's like addicted to drugs, and like the critic is coming and everything's going wrong. And it's also all shot on one take. Like everything's going wrong.
No. Wait. So he wrote Adolescence?
He wrote it. Yeah, he co-created it and wrote it.
What?
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Wow. My respect for the Brits has gone up even more.
I like this guy. But he was in Snatch. I've been watching this guy since I was like... He's always like, oh yeah, he's like in the background somewhere.
Wow. A true artist, Dan. Because the American counterpart of that would be like someone like Jon Favreau, who wrote the film Chef.
Yeah.
Which... Jon Favreau writes himself as a taco truck chef in a love triangle with Scarlett Johansson and Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
Sure. But wow.
And before he wrote Swingers, where he's like with Heather Graham. He's always just...
But meanwhile, wow. So this guy, Stephen Graham, he wrote himself to be a dad.
He's a talented guy.
Wow.
Okay. Here's
the whole film. I'm like processing this still. He could have written anything. He chooses to be the dad to a son who come in. He didn't do nothing.
He is really good.
He didn't do nothing.
He's really good. Okay. Here's my pitch to you, though. With this whole thing is shot in one take. Without the one take thing, this is just an episode of Law and Order.
No, what are you talking about?
It's like slightly better acted.
The acting is exponentially better.
But the story and the situation and the plot and the dialogue, all that is like, it's fine. It's fine.
This is an insane
and
take.
And they're like, oh, we have to do the one take so we feel like it's art. And so every fucking Tisch film graduate will just get a huge hard on. They're like, oh, I was just so excited about Brutalist and 70 millimeter, and now the one shot. It's just like red meat to dorks. And
You're
I'm
out of
over
your
it.
fucking
I'm
mind,
over it. I'm
Dan.
over it. This is okay. I'm gonna go
Dan,
even further.
That is so reductive. So any procedural is just, oh, I've seen this, Law and Order.
No,
Anything set in a hospital, I've seen this ER.
No, there's some great ones. There's some great procedurals, but I don't think this is like that much better. I think the audience is convinced that it's like elevated because of the technical element, and I don't even think it's that necessary in this. Like in Boiling Point, his last movie, it made sense. It's all like you're in the kitchen, you're going hard, but why did this have to be in one take? It seems like it seems like a gimmick to me.
I totally disagree. I think the one take, we're being so annoying about this, but anyways, I think the one take serves the story, because if you're, put yourself in that parent's shoes, like if you suddenly, your front door gets barged down and then you have these officers tell you that your son is, being accused of murder, there's so much like intensity in the weight of that news. I think the one take serves the story very well in that way, because the news itself is so intense, and it like you just get tunnel vision.
Yeah,
there's no room for cuts.
I think and there's just so many things that like like they have to condense everything. They have to make it so they live right across the street from the police station. All these things that like feel so forced to me, and it's just not necessary. I don't know. This is one of those things where I just feel like we've gone too far with the one take. Okay, if I'm the czar of movies,
how many
you need The Bear had it, Birdman, The Studio, this new show, The Studio, Seth Rogen, the whole second episode.
But it didn't bother you in The Studio?
No, it did bother me, but at least the whole second episode is about, he's a film producer, he goes to set to see someone trying to get a one take, and so the episode itself is filmed as a one take. And it just is like, it to me, it feels like a flexing of technical mastery that's often seems to mask like a hollow shell. I think you just get it where you're like, I'm an artist.
What are you on about, mate? What are you on about,
I'm like
mate?
Kubrick. I'm doing a one take.
What are you on about, mate?
Like it's like the 70 millimeter. People just fetishize these craft elements, which I think is easier to get than ever. People go to film school, people on TikTok are doing crazy transitions and cool stuff. And you think that, I think like technical mastery is an all-time high, and actual like storytelling and artistry and depth and emotion is, and originality in that arena is much harder to come by. And I think people don't, and we're almost going to like seamlessly go into AI mode, because that's actually the thing that AI can copy the most easily is craft. And there's no soul to stuff.
Wow, I don't agree with you at all on any of this.
Don't you feel that when you're watching stuff, you're like, this is like, I haven't seen Severance, but to me the clips I see online of Severance is like, there's so much style, and all that people talk about is the style and the set design and the crazy long shots that were done without CGI. And it, to me, it's like it's just like a midwit understanding and appreciation of film. And
no, I agree with what you're saying. I think that is a valid criticism for a lot of the stuff that's on TV and in film, where we're just sort of embracing new technologies for the novelty of it. But I really think in a show like Adolescence, it is used in an intelligent way that serves the story. Yeah. And I also think like the acting's top notch, because it is one take.
I agree that the acting is really good.
It justifies it. I don't know. As I was watching, it really dropped me into the story, and like my ears were ringing as I was watching. I was like, "Holy fuck! Like, what would it really be like if your son was being accused of murder?" I'm like, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
but I agree with what you're saying, and also with Severance.
Maybe I'm biased. I'm just like, I feel like there's so much fucking hater. One takes. Shit.
How many one takes are there? The only other one take the children, Alfonso Cuarón, Children of Men.
No, but there is actually, he's the only one who's allowed. I think Alfonso Cuarón is allowed a few, and Gravity. I think you really have to earn it. Like if I was the film czar, which President Trump, Department of Film, I'd give out only 1 or 2 licenses a year for one takes. And also 1 or 2 licenses a year for movies over 120 minutes. Those would be my 2. Like the government would have to approve your very detailed application to use a one take to use a 120-minute to make a 120-minute film.
I agree with the movies are too long now.
Movies are too long. But don't you feel you're watching TV and you're like, this looks amazing. This looks really, really good. And like they have a great DP and they're cool shots. But it's kind of coming at the expense of any kind of soul or interesting or novel ideas in the thing.
Yeah. No. I don't. I'm trying to think of examples, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm. For me, it's more about the story. If anything, I don't really care. I'm not thinking about like the cinematography or the set design elements. Like, yeah, Severance is really pretty to look at. But my gripe with Severance, and again, I've fallen asleep in every episode of Severance. I am convinced that everyone's being gaslit into calling this like the best show on television because you don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
And so we conflate that.
I'm not going to watch it because I got...
conflate that with...
Oh, that's for sure.
Oh, this is good because I'm confused. Yes. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, that was the same with True Detective season 1 was also like
Westworld season 1, like you as a viewer, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And then you just put like a nice little bow like in the season finale and you're like, wow.
Yeah, I got burned with this at a young age from Lost and I just I cannot dip my toes.
It's too traumatic.
Into this like endless Easter eggs and surrealism and confusion and obfuscation and what's going on.
But to your credit, I mean,
they never land the plane. Like literally none of the shows have ever landed the plane that do this.
Sure.
And so I cannot.
But you're a film, you've directed, so you're viewing these things through a more critical lens than I am.
You watch film, you like film. I feel like, but you notice I feel like maybe notice in other art forms too, or like like music, like guitarists. They're probably now in terms of technical ability among the most talented guitarists who just watch like YouTube videos and they can shred like better than Hendrix.
Did you see the 5-year-old Japanese prodigy?
No.
Who's just like producing music on their iPad?
Yeah.
And it sounds incredible.
It sounds sick. Yeah. Great. It's too late for us, Brian. But I feel like there's so much of that and you can so easily master that and we're not it's the reason I'm not into like Steve Vai or these other like amazing shredders on guitar. Like it's not interesting musically.
Right.
It doesn't have any sort of like soul.
I agree with you. I think with the advent of AI and these sort of technologies, we're going to come to embrace friction and glitches more.
Yeah.
I mean, and also it's what Brian Eno said. Like art comes in the mistakes.
Yeah.
Like the glitches. Like
but what if the AI
thing.
learns how to glitch? Then we're fucked.
Yeah.
But it seems like right now we're just making Miyazaki, everything look like Miyazaki. That seems to be what people are mostly using it.
Oh my god, dude. It's fucking harrowing, man.
Okay, that was Middlebrow.